So on the back side of this worksheet, the Polygon Benchmark Review Part 2, you have 8 ACT type or multiple choice questions, just like you'll see on your test. So problem number 9 says, in the pentagon shown below, one interior angle measures 40 degrees. What is the total measure of the other 4 interior angles? Well, you have to remember that in a pentagon, if we use the formula n minus 2 times 180, we have 5 sides. When I subtract 2, that is a total of 3, and then we are multiplying that number by 180 degrees, or 540 degrees in any given pentagon. So I know that I have 540 degrees. It also tells me that one of the angles is 40 degrees. So if I subtract that off, I have 500 degrees left to share between 1, 2, 3, and 4 angles. So the answer here is letter choice D. Problem number 10 says, for every pentagon, the sum of the interior angle measures is 540 degrees. So if you add up these 5 angles, it totals 540 degrees. It says for pentagon ABCDE below, what is the measure of angle E? So we're trying to solve for E. So I know that 540 degrees total, and I have already given 120. If I take that and add that with 150, so 120 plus 150 gives me a total of 270 degrees. Add in the 100 degree angle, it gives me to a total of 370 degrees. Add in my right angle, which is a total of 90 degrees, and I have 460 total degrees out of a possible 540. So now if I take that 540 and subtract off 460, that means that the question mark has to be a total of 8 degrees. Letter choice C. Problem number 11 says the regular 8-sided polygon in figure 1 has 20 total diagonals. So if you were to draw it out, you have 20 total diagonals. Remember, a diagonal is when you take 2 points on the polygon and you connect those 2 points with a straight line. That is your diagonal. So it tells you again that segment AB is one of the diagonals. It says the regular 6-sided polygon in figure 2 has how many total diagonals? So if I start with this point here, I can create a total of 1, 2, 3 diagonals. From this point, I can create a total of 1, 2, 3 more diagonals. From this point, I already have one of them drawn in, so I just can create 1, 2 more. From this angle, I have 1, 2 drawn in, so I can create 1 more. And this one already has 1, 2, and 3 diagonals drawn in. So 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Letter choice F. In problem number 12, it says the figure below shows the quadrilateral ABCDE. Measure of angle C is what you're trying to find. Remember, 4 sides, 4 angles, so 4 minus 2 times 180, or 2 times 180 gives me a total of 360 degrees in this quadrilateral. So add up what you know. 65 plus 100 gets you to a total of 165, plus the 75 degree angle gets you to a total of 240 degrees. And now if I subtract that number from 360, that will reveal the measure of angle C, which is 120 degrees. Letter choice A. In 13, it says all 6 sides of the polygons are congruent. If all 6 sides are congruent, that makes this polygon a regular polygon, meaning all sides, all angles are congruent. So it says, what is the value of x? Okay, so I know that I have a six-sided figure. So 6 minus 2 times 180, or 4 times 180, gets me a total of 720 degrees. If I want to find the measure of just one angle, I would take this number and divide it by 6. And when you take 720 and divide it by 6, you get a total of 120 degrees. So that means that this angle here, instead of writing x, we can now erase that and put 120 in its place. Well, now, if you look at this dotted line here, if I extended that side out, these are linear pairs. So 180 minus 120, a total of 60 degrees. So this is 60 degrees, and this also has to be 60 degrees. Notice 120 and 120 here, they are vertical angles, but it's asking for the measure of all of that, so x would also be, or this value right here would be 120 degrees. So 60 plus 120 plus 60, so a total of 240 degrees, letter choice B. In 14 here it says find the measure of angle A. Notice A is an exterior angle. A and this unknown angle here are linear pairs. They add to 180 degrees. So I can say that the question mark plus angle A is equal to 180 degrees. So now I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided figure. Pentagon has a total of 540 degrees. Use the formula if you need to, n minus 2 times 180. When I add up all of the angles in the pentagon, I have 104 plus 96. 104 and 96 makes a total of 200 degrees. Add in this 115, that gets me to a total of 315 degrees. And then finally add in 118 for a total of 433 degrees. So I have 433 degrees total. If I subtract that from 540, I get a total of 107 degrees. Now remember that 107 degrees is an interior angle, so don't be fooled by letter choice A. So now that I know that the question mark is 107, if I subtract 107 from both sides, 180 minus 107 is a total of 73 degrees, letter choice C. In 15 it says the sum of 3 of the interior angles of a pentagon is 420 degrees. Remember, pentagon, 540 total degrees. So I know that if 3 of them equals 420 degrees, if I subtract that off, I am left with a total of 120 degrees left for the remaining angles. Well, if this takes care of 3 angles, that means that 2 angles have to be 120 degrees. It says if those remaining angles are equal, how much does each measure? Well, 120 divided by 2, 60 degrees, letter choice B. And finally in problem 16 it says the exterior angles of the interior and the interior angles of a polygon are equal. How many sides does the polygon have? Well, they're telling you when you add your interior angles with your exterior angles, remember those are linear pairs, so it will be equal to 180 degrees. If these two are the same, what two numbers add to 180 that are the same? So let's just figuratively give this a variable x, which then has to be the same as the exterior angles x, and that is all equal to 180 degrees. So 2x is equal to 180. Divide both sides by 2. X has to be 90. So it says, how many sides does the polygon have? Well, we know that if each of these is 90, it says the exterior angles and the interior angles are equal. So if we think about creating a 90-degree figure, you know that that figure has to have a right angle and that the exterior angle is also 90 degrees. And the only figure that you could do and make this into is a quadrilateral. So 4 sides, answer choice